When you eat, the food you consume goes through a system of organs in your body where it is broken down into usable forms of energy that are conducive to maintaining your health, growth, and function. Additionally, anything that cannot be used is removed from your body as waste. This system is called the digestive system. Simply, it begins from the mouth and ends at the anus. However, in between the mouth and the anus is a course of hollow organs that include the esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, and the rectum. Additionally, surrounding this tract are other accessory organs, including the liver, pancreas, and gallbladder. Taken as a whole, the entire tract is about 30 feet long. As food travels down this length, it is mechanically and chemically broken down so that any minerals, vitamins, nutrients, carbohydrates, fats, and proteins stored in the food may be absorbed and used by the body. So without further ado, let us journey down into the digestive system. We begin at the mouth, which is the opening into the digestive system. When food enters the mouth, it is pulverized in a process called mastication, which is just a fancy word for chewing. The agents of mastication are the teeth, of which there are 3 kinds: incisors slice, canines tear, and molars grind. Inside the mouth is a tongue, which is the strongest muscle in your body pound for pound. The tongue is responsible for the ability to sense taste. It has receptors called taste buds, which can sense whether the food you consume is salty, sour, sweet, bitter, umami, or some combination of those. When you're ready to swallow, the tongue pushes the mushed up food down your throat. Located near the tongue are 3 glands that produce saliva, which serves to moisten the food. These are the parotid, sublingual, and submandibular glands. Additionally, saliva contains the enzyme amylase, which begins the digestion of carbohydrates, or sugar. So sugar begins digestion in the mouth. So when you swallow, a flap at the posterior base of the tongue called the epiglottis walks over the larynx so that the masticated food, now called a bolus, does not go down the respiratory system. That would result in a blockage of the windpipe, which is essentially choking. Instead, the bolus goes down the pharynx. The food travels down the pharynx and continues through the esophagus, which is a fibroelastic tube of smooth muscle. The food is channeled down by peristalsis, which are wave-like contractions that force the food towards the stomach. Food enters your stomach through the cardiac sphincter, a muscular doorway which controls the flow of food into the stomach. Inside, folds in the stomach lining called rugae expand and contract to mix and churn the food, turning it into a pasty substance called chyme. Acidic gastric juices are secreted from in between the rugae, contributing to the stomach's acidic interior of about pH 3. Another part of the stomach, called the fundus, absorbs gases released during this mixing process. Protein digestion begins in the stomach, where the enzyme pepsin catalyzes its breakdown. Food stays in the stomach for about 1 to 4 hours before it exits via the pyloric sphincter, which controls output into the duodenum.
The small intestine is a long tube of smooth muscle, about 22 feet long. The duodenum is the first loop of the small intestine, in which the acidic chyme becomes basic. The middle section of the small intestine is the jejunum, and the last part of the organ is called the ileum. As food goes through, nutrients, minerals, and vitamins are absorbed in the body. Next to the duodenum is an important organ called the pancreas, which secretes pancreatic juices that complete the digestion of proteins. The pancreas is unique in that it is both an exocrine gland, secreting juices into the duodenum, and an endocrine gland, secreting insulin into the bloodstream. It is the only gland in your body to both secrete in and out. Also located near the small intestine is the liver, which is responsible for multiple functions, including the storage and detoxifying of blood. For the digestive system, it produces bile. Bile is then stored in the gallbladder, and it serves to begin the breaking down of lipids in a process called emulsification. Essentially, large fat globules are dissolved into small fat bubbles. The interior wall of the small intestine is lined with millions of small finger-like projections called villi. These villi have thin membranes through which vitamins, minerals, and nutrients can be absorbed into the bloodstream by way of rich capillary beds. The remaining unabsorbed chyme goes through the ileocacal junction, which connects the small intestine to the large intestine. The cecum is the opening of the large intestine. The large intestine is called large not because it's longer than the small intestine, but because it is wider in diameter. In fact, the large intestine is approximately only 5 feet long, which is only a quarter of the length of the small intestine. The large intestine consists of ascending colon, the transverse colon, the descending colon, and finally the sigmoid colon. As chyme travels through the large intestine, the final absorption of minerals, vitamins, and nutrients occurs. Additionally, water is reabsorbed, leaving a dry material that is now called feces. This feces travels to the rectum, which is the holding area, before it is released out of the body via the anus, which is the sphincter to control the flow of feces. The human body is essentially a tube, with the first opening at the mouth and the second opening at the anus. However, between two openings is a complicated system and a series of organs and processes. To recap, food enters through the mouth and undergoes mastication before being swallowed through the pharynx when it goes down the esophagus to enter the stomach. In the stomach, the food is mixed and churned into chyme. The chyme then enters the small intestine where vitamins, minerals, and nutrients are absorbed into the body. Accessory organs near this area contribute enzymes that further aid in the breakdown of food. Next is the large intestine, where the most absorption occurs. Finally, water is reabsorbed into the body, leaving dry fecal matter, which goes down into the rectum and exits the body via the anus. Every system in the human body is associated with diseases that affect the function of the system. For the digestive system, the diseases that disrupt the function of the system are gallstones, celiac disease, Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, irritable bowel syndrome, hemorrhoids, diverticulosis, gastroesophageal reflux disease, and anal fissure. The most common disease in every patient is gastroesophageal reflux disease, better known as acid reflux. Common symptoms may be heartburn, bad breath, tooth erosion, nausea, and pain occurring in the middle of the chest area. You can help your digestive system by drinking water and eating a healthy diet that includes foods rich in fiber. High fiber foods like fruits, vegetables, and whole grains make it easier for poop to pass through your system. The digestive process is crucial to the development of a healthy living person who can perform well in many areas of life. So the next time you finish eating, think about all that happens in your body to digest your food.